James was frustrated with his business. For months, he had been producing teaching videos for potential clients. He was sharing useful information, explaining how to solve problems, giving people free value, but the videos were getting almost no engagement. He couldn't understand why. He had even sent the videos directly to clients he thought would benefit from them. But instead of watching the videos and learning how to do things themselves, they would call him and ask him to fix the problem. James had already revisited the video titles, the descriptions, the wording. On the surface, everything looked clear. So I watched a few of the videos, and very quickly I could see one of the reasons. James was not a good teacher. Now, this wasn't about the videos being perfect. No video is perfect. We can always find something to improve. This was more fundamental, and nobody had told him. He wasn't giving the viewer enough space to follow him. Everything moved too quickly. The instructions were hard to keep up with. He would click the next step before the viewer had time to see where he had clicked. And while they were still trying to catch up, he had already moved on. That creates stress. And even worse, it can create a moment where the viewer feels stupid, and that feeling alone is enough to repel them. Not because the viewer isn't intelligent, but because the experience doesn't feel good. Then I asked James a simple question. Do clients come to you because they want to learn how to do these things? Or do they pay you because they want you to do the job? He paused, then said, they normally want me to do the job, but he had assumed that if he created teaching videos, it would help them, it would save them money, it would give them something useful. And that sounds logical, but it wasn't aligned with the evidence. So I reminded him of something important. The best strategy is often hidden in what is already working. Past orders are evidence. Past clients are evidence. Repeat business is evidence. Referrals are evidence. There was already a success formula operating in his business. He just hadn't recognized it yet. So I asked him, over the past 25 years, has any client ever asked you to make them a video explaining how to do something? He said only once. Then he added, they often ask me to share screens and get things done in real time, but it always involves me helping them. That was the clue. So I asked James to backtrack through past projects, client by client, job by job, not to list what he had done, but to identify why people came to him, why they were satisfied, why they returned, why they trusted him with more work. On the surface, each project looked completely different. Different clients, different problems, different tasks. But underneath, a pattern began to appear. People were paying for, feeling safer in their business, feeling that things were moving, feeling relief from problems, feeling supported, feeling that someone had their back, feeling free from having to learn things they didn't care about, feeling free from technical overwhelm. That was the real value. As we talked, James started to see that his role was almost like an enzyme. He could go into a situation, see the problem, fix it, improve something, and get out. That was his genius. His clients didn't want a long, lingering teaching relationship. They didn't want to become experts in the process. They didn't want homework. They didn't want another thing to learn. They wanted relief. They wanted movement. They wanted someone competent to step in and sort it out. Once James saw that, everything changed. He realized that making teaching videos was completely off track. Not because teaching videos are bad, but because they were not aligned with his value. What he needed instead was a strong promotional video, a video that helped people feel what he actually brought to their business. Not a long list of services, not a catalogue of technical skills, but the experience of working with him, the relief, the safety, the momentum, the feeling of, finally, someone has this. There were experiences James had taken for granted because they came naturally to him. He didn't understand how valuable they were to a business owner, because he wasn't struggling with them. That's often the problem with our gifts. Because they feel easy to us, we assume they are obvious. But to the right client, that ease is gold. After the dust settled, James began looking at his other business activities differently. He could suddenly see that many things on his list were a waste of time and energy. Platforms he didn't enjoy, strategies he didn't believe in, tasks he thought he should be doing, things he had collected from other people's advice. And I watched relief wash over him. It was as if burdens were falling off his shoulders. He took a deep breath, relaxed, smiled, and said, I'm so relieved. I hated doing those things. And that matters, because when business activities are riddled with resistance, people feel it, even before they read the words, even before they click the link. even before they understand what feels off. Energy travels through the architecture of your business. If you hate doing something, if you resent it, if you are forcing yourself through it, that resistance becomes part of the experience. And potential clients can feel that something doesn't quite resonate. So what's the takeaway? Before you consume another business strategy, pause. Before you copy what everyone else says you should be doing, pause. Before you add another task to your list, look at what is already working. Do a deeper dive into your past success. Look at your existing clients, your repeat customers, your referrals, your best conversations, your easiest sales, your most satisfied clients. There is probably a winning formula already present. And if you can't see it, ask your customers. Ask them why they bought from you. Ask them what made them choose you. Ask them what they felt from you that mattered. Many people avoid asking for feedback because they're afraid of criticism, but no feedback is truly negative. Even criticism gives you information, even if the complaint relates to something beyond your control. It helps you understand that no system will ever satisfy all people all of the time. The key is to ask better questions. Don't only ask for surface feedback. Guide the customer toward the emotional motivation behind their decision. For example, you might write, "Hi Sarah, I've experienced a strong increase in my client base over the last 8 months without advertising. So clearly something is working that I may not be fully aware of. I'd love to offer you a 10% discount on any booking within the next 6 months, in return for a few quick answers about why you chose to work with me. Could you recall the main reason or top 2 reasons why you chose my business instead of others in the area? Was it my expertise or qualifications, the price, availability, the feeling you got from the website, a recommendation, past experience or results? My photo giving you a good feeling, a sense of confidence, the location being easy for you? Or was there another reason I haven't mentioned?" That kind of feedback can be incredibly revealing, because the customer may be buying something very different from what you think you're selling. James thought people wanted helpful teaching. He thought that saving money was a big priority, but the evidence showed they wanted technical relief, they wanted safety, they wanted movement, they wanted someone to take the problem out of their hands. So stop guessing based on what everyone else says is important. Look for evidence, look for the pattern, look for the feeling people keep coming back for, because your best business strategy may not be something new. It may already be hiding inside the success you've created.